Jonestown 2K17 party. Jonestown 2K17 party. This time we will pack a punch. Ha 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 ha. Hey Jimmy, are you going to Jonestown 2K17? No, Spence, I'm going to kill myself tomorrow. Oh, that's too bad. I heard the Beatles were going to start the reunion tour at Jonestown 2K17. 11! But it won't be the same without John Bonham. Jimmy, I think you're confusing the Beatles with Pink Zeppelin. Whatever, Spence, you don't even believe in music. No, I do. I'm just waiting until marriage. See all of you guys at Jonestown 2K17 party. Woohoo! He raped his sister, Phoebe, by Saden Jmith. The Diary of Phoebe Caulfield. I walk through Central Park, drinking the fugue both in and around me. And what of fugue? It lingered in the upward gaze of each citizen of the Republic. It seeped from subway vents and frustrated the mind with its irrefutable presence as one overtook each alleyway in Mew. It aired its grievances in the fanning hands, the denuced collars of sweating museum patrons, or the crystal-caged specimens staring back at them. The city in all its waste baked. Was I waste? My hair was a dry bausch of pumpkin papier-mâché, streaking to felt ends, liberal like the skirts of a pinup. The particular genus of my heirloom, read, an heirloom meant for hair, like the quills of a porcupine, Holden had inured in a lethargy of pensive petting. He loved to stroke it, despite the parchment unforgiveness, a metonymy or an alliteration. Holden hated subjectivity. He hated the dilettante piped pipers and their harems. I once wrote up an opinion piece for him on the fact that relative morality didn't vouchsafe such transgressions as murder and rape, but the New Yorker rejected it. So it goes. I discovered a genre-defining aspect of my body when I was 14. No, I'm not talking about anything sexual. No lunar lacerations. What was unearthed for me was a way to project myself into a state of, for lack of a better term, non-phoniness. Earnesty? The state in which my sentences dropped superfluous syllables and the vomit of trite ideas I wanted to exhume on paper became indistinguishable from the bile in the back of my tonsils. Holden hadn't the slightest trepidation for spiriting to my thirsty clutches what saccharine liquors I might fancy to cherry up my lips. Alcohol and I were love at first sight, or rather at first stumbled odyssey to the bathroom of a dance club, puking my reservations over a toilet seat I had forgotten to open. It was enamor untainted by higher faculties, some recursive frisson as I marveled at my own stupidity, laughing at the enchanted fact that I couldn't walk and instead had to drag my body along the side of the wall to get anywhere. When I saw myself in the bathroom mirror with amethyst cheeks and some nubile smirk, I fell in love with a new girl looking back at me. I like to visit her whenever I get the chance. And now, on the subject of visitations, I think of Holden. I think of him petting my hair down, watching it spring up again, running his trimmed fingernails through fizzled curls, some familiar and some navel. What is there to blame in him? No more than a societal prescription that there are certain circumstances in which it is impossible to condescend love. Shakespeare caught my liking precisely because he threw out those expectations with the bathwater. Like those tragic siblings Holden always told me about, Ophelia and Laertes, one the vassal of the other, nodding to his whims and statutory sycophancy, yet able to thieve his agency of attention and torture his masculinity by denuding him of his dagger. 40,000 brothers could not, with all their quantity of love, make up my sum. I recall smirking, dropping it into a conversation with Holden on a contemporary twilight and watching him squirm. I recall the way the back of his neck felt prickly, sensuous, as I massaged the suburbs. Their unconditional love, Empyrean love, they don't make them like Hamlet anymore. Maybe Holden was like Hamlet, if you squinted enough and replaced a Jocasta with Antigone in his Oedipal struggle. Sometimes he liked to hurt me, hold his fingers around my neck and leave bruises on my skin as if to mark his transitory presence, like the Napoleonic legionnaires carving their initials on the pyramids. I don't think he ever looked at me as a wonder of the world, even if he believed he did. In secreted thoughts, I rub the black and blues along the pearl-down piano of my ribs and feel pride, even pleasure, in how he used my body. He always had bizarre requests for me. Act a certain way, recite a certain poem. You're supposed to get petulant about things like that, but I never did. I don't know at which point I woke to discover I'd become one who I never was, but will always be. I don't know when Caulfield came to her cruel end, or what manner of cursed bastardized samsara I have been forced into, but I can hear the broom of the system. I will do what I have been tasked. This is just water. And I'll end it there.